Okay, now this is the moment of truth. That's when we actually stick it to the paint. What is going to happen? How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Always Up to Late channel. My name is Jonathan and we have a fun one in store for you today. We are going to be making an update to the W204. I have a couple trim pieces, one that goes over here and then one that goes across the trunk right here. They look like this here. I think this is the trunk one and this is the back window one. They've been taking up space on my workbench for a little while now, so I'm definitely excited to get these on there. Not only because they're taking up space, but also because I've wanted to have these for quite some time, and I just never really got around to doing it, or didn't really think about it too much, and then I got a pretty good deal on these, and now we have them. So now we'll go ahead and get those installed today. All right, and first things first, we're gonna go ahead and wash my car because there are a ton of product on there. There's a ton of stuff like the double black bead maker stuff. It's like real hydrophobic and everything, and I want to make sure to prep the surface as best we can, and the car needs washed anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a real deep clean and probably do some clay barring back here on the back here as well, and just make sure that we really provide the best surface that we possibly can to get this stuff to stick, because it attaches with like the 3M double stick trim adhesive stuff, and I'd really hate for this thing to like come flying off on the highway or something. So we'll go ahead and get that done real quick. Now that we have the car pretty well washed, I did the regular 2-bucket wash procedure, and it's still wet from that, and I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a little bit of soapy water and just standard clay bar stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and clay bar the area where the back spoiler is going to go. And the reason I'm using soapy water instead of the regular spray detailer that I typically use is because I want to pull off as much of the products as possible, just so that way we get, you know, the best adherence to the paint that we possibly can. Little bits of stuff off of the back there, so we'll go ahead and work that around a couple times and find a clean piece of the clay there. And that was just in that little spot, so I'll go ahead and just speed through the rest of this and get this stuff all clay barred. So we have this surface very, very clean, and it's dry as well. I would say this is probably about as clean as it can get. It was clay barred with soap and water, and I mean, you could do some paint correction or something to get really down in there, but I think that this is going to work pretty well. And I also have the back window. It's dry now as well, so we'll go ahead and take a look at the trim pieces and get those ready to put on here. Okay, and let's take a look at the back spoiler first. Looks pretty clean. Has some beveled edges inside. It looks like that's where the adhesive is going to sit. And I can already tell that I think that this would probably be easier with someone else to help me here. However, I'm the only one working on this project today. So we'll just go ahead and get some of this included double sticky stuff put around. I'm going to try to put it all the way around the entirety of the surface. Hopefully they gave us enough to do that. Okay, so it looks like there is going to be enough to do both side edges as well. I just ran it right along that channel, and I'm leaving all of this stuff on there because I do believe that you start to peel it off a little bit after you place it, and then just kind of peel it off so it stays in place. We'll just get some stuff on these corners here. Alright, so we have it on all edges there, so we'll just go ahead and try to get this thing installed. I think we're going to go ahead and pull off the cover or the protective layer on either end, and then start to peel back this one, and we'll get it in place, and then once it's in place we'll go ahead and try to peel these off so that way this has less chance of moving around while we're getting it installed. A little bit like that, so that way that sticks over the edge when we put it down, and maybe it won't get as stuck, maybe. Kind of like that as well. I think for good measure, we'll just go ahead and do this side in exactly the same way. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now this is the moment of truth. That's when we actually stick it to the paint. And this, I think this is why I do believe that this would be easier with other people. But like I said, just me working on this today. I did test fit it as well, just to see kind of where I wanted it to be. And I want it to go on even. So the middle is now touching, and side to side feels about right. I'm just going to kind of put that down like that. So that feels pretty even on there. Let's see if we can actually okay. Oh no. Oh no. It's okay. Good. Okay. It's definitely attached. If I push on it, it kind of pushes on the trunk, and it is even on either side, which is really nice, so that peeling it back and just barely sticking it on there is definitely the way to install at least this one. Now I am going to try, I think, to do the same thing here. And this is the one, like, I didn't think that this one was going to be too bad, and it wasn't, to get that installed. This one, I kind of wish somebody else was here to help me with this, but we're still going to give it a shot today, and we're going to see how it goes. This is the window trim piece in exactly the same way as the last one. I have the double stick trim stuff going all the way around the perimeter of this, and the reason why I try really hard on these to get the perimeter sealed all the way is because I don't want any dirt getting behind here or water collecting underneath this thing and just sitting on top of whatever is there. Like, the window's probably fine, it'll just make it scratched and nasty, but that could actually potentially cause rust eventually if enough dirt got behind this thing right here. And the peeling of the edges worked pretty well on the spoiler, so we're going to try it on this rear window piece as well. And these are a little bit longer. I think I'm actually going to leave the side pieces just like this. Okay, there's that side. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do a test fit and see if I can get this to sit up there evenly, because I'm not entirely sure that I can. Looks pretty even. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can get back to stick there. Oh, please. I'm kind of prying up on it a little bit to make sure I can get out. There we go. Make sure I can get out all of the tape. I'm just pushing real hard to try to make sure we get a good solid adhesion? What's the word? Actually, I'll have to look that up to see what the right word is. But that looks okay. It's good, pretty even. So we have the trim pieces installed. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my regular wash and wax procedure and just kind of deep clean this thing. It's been a little while and it definitely needs it. And then we will take a look at the finished product. Alright, well that is going to wrap pretty much everything that I had for today's video. I do like how these things turned out. I know that they're not going to add any more speed or anything. I mean, it's not an AMG. This is a W204, so it's not going to make it any faster than what it was previously, but I definitely like the stylistic elements, and I really like the new aero trim pieces and everything, so I think that for the money, you know, I think that they were definitely worth it. I mean, the install was relatively painless as well. I think using the tip from the install thing that said to fold the thing back a little bit, pull those tabs back and lay it on there first and then slowly pull the entire strip off. I think that was a great tip because initially I thought that I was just going to pull them all off and try to stick them on in one go, and I'm really glad that I stopped and read that one. But overall, I'm happy with how it came out and looking forward to a few more things that I have planned for this as well. I'll get into those in a little bit later video that will be coming out sometime in the near future, and I will catch you in the next video.